My husband passed without a will. We own a little property. What should I expect? And they were married, I assume, when they owned that property together.
Well, here's the thing, and this brings in another aspect to this: is there are things that affect how property or assets transfer other than your will, and it's a very important point. So my first question to Linda would be, what does the deed say? Because it very well might be that your deed is what we call a survivorship deed. In other words, if the deed was in both names and it said it has some very specific legal language in there that says that upon the death of the first person that it transfers to the other, then it would automatically transfer to you outside of the will and outside of what we call the probate process. Mm-hmm. If it doesn't have that very specific language in there, then unfortunately it means that you would need to probate the estate in order to get the other interest transferred over to you. Same issues as before. If you have children, it might be that those children share in the interest in the property, the house or any other assets that were not that way because of the way the intestacy statute reads. So it's something you really ought to have checked out with an attorney to see. It may be as simple as looking at the deed and telling you everything's okay. It may be as complicated as, no, there's an interest there that has to go through probate process in order to transfer over.
If you're married, before you're married, you own property. You get married and buy more property, and that's in you and your wife's name. If you have a will that says, my wife gets everything when I'm dead, would you go back and change what you had before you were married and get her name on that deed?
You can, and I have some people that do that because of the simplification of the process.
But if the will leaves everything to her, it should be fine.
The will at the end of the day will still make sure that it gets where it needs to be.
Mike, one thing that Linda brought up, though, that I think would be interesting to know is, let's say Linda's husband died in an accident, a car wreck. Who gets to bring that case? This is where Joel and I have to work a lot together. So the law in Alabama is only the person who is appointed the personal representative, the administrator of the estate, or the...
May not be the wife, right? It could be an administrator.
There is a period... Joel's there, but there's a period of time where that person's given the preference,
the priority,
the priority. But after that, you may have someone else come in, and then it becomes very interesting.
Wow.